Welcome back, everyone. Buenos tardes, boa tarde. We have SG versus Infamous coming at you right now on the International 2018 South American Main Regional Qualifiers. We just had the treat of watching Pain Gaming as they qualified into the playoffs, and now, comes the time if we're gonna see SG do it, I believe. I'll have to double check my brackets, but, here we are. I am Moxxi Cass. I'm here with the wonderful D2 Bowie, and this team, SG, has just been looking so good, Bowie.
Yeah, I mean, they did get they got upset by Taurus, I want to say, but overall, I mean, they beat Pain, which is clearly the other powerhouse in these qualifiers, and it's crazy, right? They just got two players. They've been at it for like 2 weeks, and suddenly SG doing that good. I guess it goes to show how like they had a solid group of players already. Everyone in SG is like rank 50 and or below, and I guess they just needed some international influence. I guess other perspectives about Dota, and I mean we have to be honest, Flea and Stanking, they're also amazing players. So I guess it just really meshed together, and they're doing pretty well.
Well, Stan King and Flea have been playing together forever, like you said. So they're. It almost feels a little bit like these Lego pieces, right? They're these little bricks that, come together and they just manage to fit perfectly. Because, as you
Mm-hmm.
said, you've got three of the best players in South America, right? You've got Costabile, who is like number one, I believe. Laposa is, in my opinion, is the second best offlaner in the South American scene. Oh my god, I can't believe they let that through for Matthew. And then 4DR, of course, is always just really well known for being a very talented mid, probably the best mid player. And again, in South America until we have made that transition to this area. But Infamous, they're no one to sneeze at. They've made their way to a couple lands now. They were the first South American team, I believe, to get DPC points. And they just allowed Matthew to get IO. How do you let Matthew get IO? Not like this, boy.
Uh, yeah, I mean, it's interesting as well because you don't get to see a lot of IO games, so I like to see how teams try to approach it. Last time we saw, uh, it's actually not last time, but we did see a team trying to play versus Midas, and they were banning pretty much all the partners. That didn't really work. Then we had another game, which I don't remember very well, but I want to see how SG actually approaches playing against IO because that's not something you see very often, especially like you can see it in pubs, but it's way more like you could definitely see a strategy when you get a first pick IO, and now the entire draft's gonna probably be around that hero. So I want to see how SG will try to fight it. They get the other Titan Beastmaster. I mean, pretty bulky and strong hero, so they can maybe try to dive the IO. There's gonna be a lot of sustain. That hero right now is very strong, even after the nerfs. I feel like he's probably the best hero in Dota.
And Matthew is just an absolutely amazing position for. So this is
Yes.
wow. I can't. I guess they had to, right? Look at the things that they had to ban out. I mean, they banded out the Vidges. They banded. Oh my goodness! I swear, I speak English, guys. I do. Uh, they banned out the Death Prophet Gyrocopter. Skywrath Mage has been seeing a lot of play. You don't want to allow that Chen through. Not after the way Flea basically. It was like a medieval assault with all the cardies that were being thrown at towers. And of course, you've got to ban out Flea's Naga Siren. This dude is just on fire lately. So that
Yeah.
opens the doors for the IO. You get the Night Stalker for that little extra vision to combat the Beastmaster having the Hawk. That's going to give him an extra speed boost too, which will be really nice with IO and Night Stalker paired up.
I do like that SG. I mean, they take the gyrocopter first phase. You never see that, especially after the gyro nerfs. But since you know you're giving IO away, you don't want to give them IO gyro straight up. So that's a nice adaptation. And I guess another no, that's weird, right? You give IO away and you ban gyro when you could
Ban the
easily just
IO.
ban the IO.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like they're actually testing. I feel like they're in a good spot right now. They probably know they're gonna be top four. So they might be just testing some strategies and see if they can counter the IO. I feel like they could easily ban the IO, right? There's no there's no way they feel like gyro is a more important ban than IO. I feel like they're just testing the waters here, seeing if they can beat a hero like IO with pure strategy.
It's definitely, it's a place to try. It's a little arrogant, I guess, in some ways, right? That you're letting it go through during an actual tournament and not trying to test it out in scrims. But, you know, they're, like you said, they're in a great position. They need one more game, I think. I think 3 wins guarantees you playoffs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if they win this game, they make it into playoffs. They do have another game. Actually, oh no, this is their last one. This
Really?
is their last game, yeah, because they went up against, they lost the game against Taurus. But they won against Pain Gaming very, very early on. That was such a hype match. Oh my gosh, it was great. They also went up against Thunder Predator. And Midas Club, yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. So it's not that arrogant then, because they are qualified, right?
Yeah, I believe.
I guess seeding plays a role, but overall,
I'm trying to do like fast, like looking, because I've got the spreadsheet open in front of me, guys, and
yeah, me
it's not
too.
the easiest to read. While also simultaneously paying attention to the draft. We get a Winter Wyvern again. Man, we've been seeing more and more of this hero in this area. Have those been playing in some of the other qualifiers as well? I don't think I've
A little bit.
seen a little, but
Yeah, not that much. I'm curious as to why they're getting the hero here, because it doesn't look like the Winter Wyvern game. I guess they were maybe expecting the Warlock to be open, so the Winter Wyvern is a little bit better. You can always use your Winter's Curse, and you're gonna have that Golem just doing a lot of damage. You can always Winter's Curse the IO. He's pretty fragile. He's gonna have that overcharge on, so he's gonna be attacking even faster than normal. So you know, there's some positives about the Winter Wyvern. I'm not sure I like it that much. Like, it's okay. It's okay.
do you
It
think
has
they
a
were
purpose.
afraid of if they actually didn't end up getting the Warlock, that they might have run into issues with Beastmaster and all of his menagerie? The zoo that comes along with him? Because we saw that happen actually in one of our games earlier today where the Winter Wyvern got picked up and got a really nice Winter's Curse on the Lycan.
Yeah, it's a possibility. It's just that I just feel like Warlock is probably more versatile than the Winter Wyvern. You usually see teams gravitating towards that pick, but they probably scream against each other, so maybe they know that Winter Wyvern is something that Infamous likes.
Someday I'm gonna get the teams to actually tell me what their sponsors are, because SG has a team. I don't know if that's Japanese or Chinese. Apologize for my arrogance, guys.
Looks Chinese to me, but
Um,
I'm a Brazilian.
We don't know, but some of these days I'm gonna find out, because I actually last lobby we were sitting there with Pain, and I know the BTS crew was also sitting on the couch the other day, like, what's all that Chinese after their names? And they didn't know. It's obviously some sort of a sponsor on Pain. So we asked, and Weeha was hilarious, of course. He just listed off all of their sponsors, and then when we got to the Chinese ones, they're just like, I don't know, it's a secret. It's like, why would you have a sponsor that's a secret? That makes no sense. And the same thing here with SG, right? Because they've got they've got some, as the kids like to call it, the moon runes written on
What?
theirs. But yeah, that's a thing. I don't know if that's a thing down in Brazil, but up here, like, whenever you see like Korean or Chinese or Japanese or stuff that just doesn't look English, it's a different language and it's obviously not, Russian or whatever. They call it moon runes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we don't have that, but
Now you
nice
can
to
bring
know.
it to Brazil, and everyone will look at
Okay.
you like you're crazy. It's great. You'll love it.
Yeah, it doesn't really sound good in Portuguese because
What is it in
would
Portuguese?
sound like Runa da Lua. Oh, it's actually
Runa da
okay. It
Lua?
has some ring to it.
Lua
Yeah,
or
it's
Luna?
okay. Runa.
Runa.
R.
So say it again.
Chat will love it.
Ooh, you went a little robotic on me.
You still have a robot to me. Okay.
Might be Discord. We might have a little issue with Discord. Hopefully that clears up fast, though.
We just said the secret word.
No, we just got a new microphone on Boy. Let's try. I don't know if it's gonna be Boy's internet or. I think he's probably gonna reconnect. So we'll wait a minute for it. Man, I wanted to learn how to. It was like something Daruna. I don't remember what the word for moon was now. It's fine. I'm sure I'll get it when he comes back. But Dragon Knight does get picked up, and that's a 4DR Dragon Knight, most likely, considering that they have the Beastmaster pickup, and that'll be Laposa on it. This is a pretty, I would say a standard draft, right? Because you've got the two dynamic duo team of Stan King and Flea added in that are playing some different heroes that we don't normally see. But 4DR has no stranger to the Dragon Knight, and puts up a good showing. Side of Infamous, we do get a Morphling picked up. I'm not sure if that's going to be paired up with Papita or if that's going to be over on... Gosh, did they... I'm going to assume this is Kotaro. I'm going to just assume MNZ. I don't know what that tag is. I hate when they do this to me, guys, but we'll assume that that's Kotaro over on Infamous here. So yeah, that's a nice powering though, right? You've got the IO, you've got the Morphling. Gonna be able to help heal him up, give him overcharge, also be able to take anyone into these fights, right? That relocate is just super fun when you're able to play it aggressively. I know a lot of times when I am playing in like my pubs and such, I end up being the wambulance. I have to go and save people because otherwise they break the tether every single time. You know, I try to ping it out. I'm saying, oh, we're gonna go here to the fight, and they're like, herd or what? So, you know, that's unfortunate, but I'm looking forward to seeing some sick Matthew plays here. I'm so excited to see his IO. This guy's so good as a position 4. So last pick. Is this going to be a Papita, Morphling, or is it going to be a Kotaro? I think it's going to be Kotaro, personally. Could see Papita pick something else. They're very a little light on that initiation, I guess. You know, you've got the Chaotic Offering from Warlock, and you can always relocate in, but I feel like you never want to open with the relocate or the rock. You want to get something that's going to put you into position. I'm not sure that's the hero. Yeah, I'm not super crazy about this. This is gonna be a while before they could really like go after towers too with the lineup that Infamous has, right? Because Morphling wants to farm up. You've got the Golem, but the rest of the team they don't hit towers. Night Stalker doesn't hit towers that well. Io obviously, you know, unless you are playing him mid and you are totally rolling the enemy team and buying yourself the hard carry items like Odessa and such. Not really a tower hitter, and Zeus is absolutely abysmal, so I'm not sure what Infamous is going here. And of course I'm sitting here alone because Bowie is probably resetting his router trying to figure things out, so I'm a little bamboozled by this. But SG, they've got some nice tower hitters. You've got the Beastmaster, he's got the Aura, you've got a Dragon Knight, he's going to be able to use the Dragon form, start sieging, and you've got some nice backup coming out in the form of the... Oh boy.
Hello.
Hello, you're back and you're perfect. So I'm guessing your router
Nice.
just needed to restart, yes?
Yeah, I hope that was the case. I did restart it, and it seems amazing. So we have a Morphling and a Zeus here.
Oh, thank God you're here, because I'm sitting here and I'm like, I don't know what's happening with this draft. There's not a great amount of initiation. There's not a great amount of tower hitters either. And then they pick up the Lone Druid at the last second.
So a lot of push on SG. Decent Roche potential, not great, but this master's probably going to get a medallion. On Infamous, I guess, I mean, the Morphling Warlock lane is pretty good. Like, Morphling, he can always regen 100% just because, you know, he has very low HP, so the Shadow Ward has a lot of value there. That's a good lane. That's a strong safe lane. They have a strong off lane. But the lane versus Zeus, I feel like Forger's going to be fine. He's going to farm a lot, and he can pressure towers while Zeus can't. So it's more of a question of who, like, if the aggression from Infamous pays off. Because if it doesn't, it's going to be similar to what we saw between Midas and Pain, where you just, like, push 15 minutes in, and you're going to have all those heroes diving for Infamous while they try to enable the Zeus, try to enable the Morphling. Morphling does take quite a while to get online.
I'm just worried that SG is not going to give them a chance to let MNZ get going. I think that's Kotaro, right?
Yes.
I was saying how much I hate how they always change their names. Like, King Teika's like Devato Loco or something, which is just feels ridiculous to say, especially in a team fight. So just go and call him King Teika. But, yeah, I'm just a little concerned about this draft. That,
all the tips already starting.
Want to have fun.
Okay. I don't know, I feel like Zeus, when you see in pubs, it seems super strong, but a lot of the times in professional games, it's not really the same, and I don't really like Zeus versus that much push. Yes, he has quote-unquote wave clear, but SG, they have a lot of dive as well. The Zeus cannot stand against that. I guess they have an IO, but a lot of the times it's just not enough, especially in the early game. IO doesn't provide that much burst region.
No, and I think it's really moved too, right? From going for the burst region. I remember a time when IO was frequently picked up, and then you would get the mech build, Guardian Greaves, and it's really kind of moved away from it, where now you're seeing the Soul Ring pickup plus the not necessarily always the Helm of the Dominator, although it is pretty popular in the pubs. But then the Urn, which is slow over time regen. It seems to be more like
Yeah.
sustaining regen than burst regen coming off from our
For
little
sure, especially
beep boop here.
because you're gonna max tether at the end. Like it's usually your last spell that you max, and the HP/mana amp grows with tether. So a lot of the burst, quote unquote, is not the same as it once was. You do have one, I guess. So that's one thing that is burst region, but that's pretty much it.
I'm already trying to kind of dodge around with these lanes, which I think is a smart call here. But yeah, no, not great burst region. Burst region, absolutely. It's gonna be pretty difficult. We see a
I wanna
TP.
see
What just happened? Who TP'd where? I heard something happen.
Sound.
Sound? Uh-oh.
I do like Flea playing the other Titan. I feel like we're gonna see something crazy here. I am hyped for this Flea other Titan.
I mean,
I
we're
wanna
just
see him with
hyped every
200
time we see
damage.
Flea, right?
Yes, I am. It's amazing to see this guy play.
Boy had some Kappa pride yesterday watching Flea's Naga Siren.
Oh, don't even get me started.
But yeah, it's exciting that Flea and Stan King have made their way down to this region. They're showing us some really nice drafts. We're seeing excellent play come out Flea. And it's gonna, I like the idea of having some international presence down in the South American scene, because these are very talented players, but when you're what is it, the big fish in a little pond kind of situation, where over time you become so good and then you're playing pubs and you're just crushing everyone. You're not getting challenged. So having SG with these new players down here, I think it's good. I think it's going to incite more passion, I think. You know how you get excited when you get like a really good opponent? You're like, oh, I can't wait for our next scrim. I'm going to take you down. Like, it's going to become a rivalry. And I really like that. I like that we're seeing more of that in this region.
Yeah, and I guess even more than that, I feel like having the North American players here kind of create bonds between like the Brazilian players and the North American players. And now SG, they might be able to get scrims that they wouldn't be able to get before, just because it's kind of, even though you play pubs with the other players, you don't really like, they are now friends. They're living together, so I feel like that will enable this scene to grow better, because we're gonna have scrims between other regions, and that's definitely something that helps in getting a better competitive scene. You need to have teams outside of your region that you can practice, because at least I heard that SG and Pain, for instance, they don't really scrim that often, because they're like, well, they're my rivals. I don't want to show our strats, and they're like, who are you gonna practice if you cannot practice the strongest team in your region?
Yes, exactly. So, new blood coming into the region with networking ties, always good. It just also, you run into that issue of the ping, right? Because ping, no matter, even if you make friends in the North American region, the ping is just usually pretty awful. Especially, I think it's very, very bad for Peruvians. I'm not sure how bad it is for Brazil, but they're still playing at a disadvantage. You can still learn a lot from these scrims, but I did like how Pain's manager, or not the manager, the owner of Pain Gaming, managed to set up a boot camp for Pain out in, I think it was Katowice in Poland. And that gave them a lot of good opportunities. They got to scrim some teams, they got to play pubs, they started to, develop different metas, because the metas in each region are very, very different, and they're very locked in. So.
And if you go for an international tournament only knowing your own meta, you might be in big trouble, because you're like, well, they're gonna ban those heroes, but then they play completely different. It's a different play style. Alright, so we have a game again. I am not a big fan of dual laning a lone druid, but I guess it is a lot of push, and they have a very, like, when I said a Morphling is a strong lane, I mean in the sense that he can fight back, but he doesn't necessarily want to. Does that make any sense?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, so...
He has the capability, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he wants to use it.
Yes, and I feel like this enables the lone druid to farm. So yeah, it's going to be sharing a couple of levels, but this other Titan will be able to bully him quite a bit. You already see him 70% HP here. They're going to have to spam that Shadow Ward, which will probably get nerfed, by the way.
Well, yeah, we talked about... heroes that are showing up constantly or getting banned constantly, and why you should ban them, Ice Frog. I'm sure he's listening to us right now. Loves that South American Dota scene, I'm sure. This is kind of a scary lane, though, with the IO and the Night Stalker, right? It's going to allow Old Stinger to be able to get quite a bit of CS. IO not really going to be able to bully anyone, necessarily, with his own little boops, but we'll be able to keep that mana regen over on Old Stinger so he can kind of spam out the spells, and also heal him up whenever necessary.
Mm-hmm. So this Winter, huh? What is the plan? I guess it is a hero that can harass the Night Stalker from far away. So the Arctic Burn, because it is percentage based, you do, like, it has more value versus IO, just because everyone's always full HP, so you're doing more damage every time you use it, I guess. That might play a role, I don't know. I'm not sure I understand Winter Weaver in this meta. I'm not really sure what her role is.
Well, it'll be fun to learn what it is, and then, you know, eventually we'll get some Bowie videos, right? What Stan King's Winter Wyvern has taught me.
I actually had a Ice off lane Winter Weaver, but that was another time.
I've got a friend you should talk to that is playing it as core and getting a lot out of it. It's actually pretty ridiculous, and he's ranked on the NA leaderboards too.
Really? Oh.
Yeah, we joke about it because he's literally one of those people that just play Dota 2 for fun. Oh, and if he actually wanted to try, I think he would be pretty high up on that leaderboard. But he just does goofy stuff. He's like, oh, let's take this hero and see if we can, you know, make it into a core. Let's take Shadow Demon and run it in the safe lane. And he does
RTZ Shadow Demon.
He does it so well. It's actually insane. Oh, IO, Matthew. Stan King gonna draw the first blood. On a very calm, like, there was like no excitement during that. It was just IO was like holding on to Old Stinger, and he's getting wailed on by Stan King, and
that shouldn't happen, right? That's an IO Night Stalker lane. Like, how do you give first blood to a Winter Weaver?
I don't know. Huh. Maybe he's playing RuneScape at the same time. Who knows? Slow gets thrown out over onto Laposa. This top lane's kind of interesting, though, the way that it's being played. Again, you said you don't really love seeing the Lone Druid in a duo lane, but he's doing quite well. Sitting at level 3 right now. It's allowing, and this is another thing we talk about with Flea, how greedy Flea can actually be usually, right? So he'll provide the support when needed, but he can also, you know, go farm up a camp or two, try to pull the lanes. Do his own thing, and then when they call him up, like, hey Flea, you want to come do this? He's like, yeah, sure. No problem, dude. I'll be right there. And then they take these incredible fights. Bottom lane, they're going for a little bit of a dive here on Stan King. The slow's coming out. Matthew trying to line it up just perfectly, and Stan King not going to be able to get away. It's going to be Matthew's revenge, but does need to be careful. These axes are something fierce being thrown at his face. They've got that tether. Oh, and he's got the salve. Nicely done.
All right. That's a good kill. In the top lane, I like that Infamous, they actually block the large camp, so that Elder Titan can't get that much damage on the Morphling. But as I said, that he is actually taking a beating right now.
Yeah, he is, really, he's got eyes for Flea here. I think he needs to be careful, though.
Another benefit of the of the Lone Druid in this lane is that Morphling, he has decent base damage, but Lone Druid is the king of denies. So I like that they have this hero versus Morphling because it denies a lot of gold against the Morphling. Yes, you're sharing experience, but you're taking gold out of Morphling, and the way he enables himself is with gold. You want to get the Lincolns, you want to get the Ethereal Blade, so that's pretty nice. 79 already on the Lone Druid.
The more you can hold down Kotaro here, the better off you're going to be. But, I mean, the lanes are going kind of interesting, right? You've got the Night Stalker Isle lane, which is super strong. And they've really been putting the pressure down here onto Laposa. Actually, Laposa's sitting at a little over 100 health. And look at Matthew using that overcharge. They really want to grab him. Axes get thrown out, but look at it. They're not ready to give up. They have the Thunder Gods around. Matthew taking a decent amount of damage. He's got those spirits, though. And Infamous, Old Stinger. Just raking up the kills here. Yeah, they're definitely going to go for it. Are you kidding me? Although IO actually taking the damage on the tower. That's a little scary. Bold Embrace, Stan King
You
buying
posted
a
a
little
TP.
bit more time. There's going to be the... Oh, the TP coming out. No, they take down Matthew Stinger. He still really wants this kill. Stan King's so low. He manages to get it. And now, I'm not sure he makes it out of here alive. Not with Laposa. Not with that last tower shot coming in. He's sitting at 10 hit points. Oh my god, look at the speed on this race car. Run, Batman, run. Flea is gonna TP in. He's gotta hide himself somewhere and TP out, and it looks like he's gonna be able to do it. Ankle's broken. Consider yourself juked.
And that forced a TP. That's actually pretty huge. It looks like the other time's gonna try to set up mid. He has 2 points installed.
How do you take down 4DR? That was a cute play, guys, but he's a Dragon Knight. He's a Dragon Knight. He's got backup. Flea just punches poor Excel with a stapler.
Alright, so what is Flea gonna build on this other type? Midas, a rapier? What
I
are
know,
we
I was about to
expecting?
say, you know, you could go for the first item, Radiance at this point. You know, the way that Flea plays his heroes. This guy, he is a farming king. You have to be careful. There is a rotation coming. Matthew's taking so much damage from these creeps, too. He's throwing out a couple of these slows. They've got to go for that stomp. Should be able to get that kill on Matthew. He's down. Do have a rotation coming out from Excel, but they've got the roar. They've had enough of Old Stinger bullying them through this lane. And Stan King gonna actually get himself a second kill. Do they keep going after Excel? It feels like they're really wanting to chase after him right now, but objectives are
Yeah, and one
important.
of
The
the
TP comes out.
One of the problems of that chase, the Night Stalker. Oh,
It's a dead
close
Laposa. Yeah, there's no way he makes it out. Nice rotation coming out from Kotari. Will get slept up though. While the rest of the the dynamic duo, Flea and Stan King, walk away.
4DR. Battling for the Invis here. Gets it versus Zeus.
I mean, that's not that it matters, right? It's a Zeus, but you do manage to take away those bottle charges from him.
And I like that he's going Hood first. That's the highest EHP he can get versus those heroes. A lot of magic damage on the Night Stalker, on the Io, on the Zeus. So that's a good choice. I'm not sure if he's gonna get a pipe, but probably just a standard Hood.
With the amount of magical damage coming out from that team, it just makes sense. Makes sense to pick it up. I'm sure we'll see a Glimmer Cape picked up on Stan King eventually.
The Helm of the Dominator completed on Costaville. I'm not sure if he's going Radiance. I'm actually curious whether this is a Radiance game, whether he's going for the Dragonlance. Oh, mid lane here.
Yeah, they've got their eyes over on Pepita. In comes Matthew, though. He's going to be able to heal him up. Trying to get this slow out over onto Flea. They can get this kill. That'd probably be very nice. He's still alive, though. He needs a little bit more damage, and they're turning their attention. They've got that Fatal Bonds online, but they don't do enough Oh, there it is. There's that Hood that's completed. There'll be no kills for Matthew and Pepita in this mid lane right now. Bottom lane looks like Kotaro sitting pretty low himself. Has to be careful. That Splinter Blast doing a decent chunk of damage. Excel trying to keep him alive with that Shadow Word.
There he is, Winter's Curse. You need to be careful here. Oh, and Ethan. And Morphling. He can kill anyone if they Winter's Curse someone close to the Morphling. So that's very scary. So yeah, they get a Helm of the Dominator on the Laundry. They're actually pressuring towers nicely. They're actually pressuring 2 towers at once, and Infamous, they don't have the resources to defend any of those towers fully. And that's one of the problems. Like, yeah, you have this Morphling, but you really need to enable him fast, or else you're gonna lose a lot of your buildings.
Getting a little aggressive over here, and again, they have to be careful. They have the Winter's Curse. Morphling can easily blow up that Io. It's gotta be pretty spooky for Matthew, right? They pop Darkness, but they can't do anything against this bear. They've queued up the Radiance too, so that answers our question of where he's going with this. So that's 1 tower down on the side of Infamous. 4DR has himself a double damage rune and has put so much damage on this mid tower. They're losing
so
map control
problematic.
so early, Bowie.
Yeah, this is gonna be tough because Dragonlance going for a Blink Dagger now, so the Zeus is gonna have a tough time actually defending. He's not gonna be able to arc lighting, showing like he is right now. And even the Morphling, he still doesn't have Lincolns, even if he gets one. Oh, Morphling.
Oh, Stan King, does he still have that? He's got Curse, he could turn around if he wanted to. Oh, that upheaval from Excel slows him down quite a bit, but looks like he doesn't want to go for it.
I love Arctic Burn as a skill. It's just so nice to get away with those ganks. Just flying over the trees.
Man, I remember when Winter Wyvern was like incredibly OP as a hero. When you get that curse and you could still drop all of your spells on top of it
Oh
too.
god. Yeah.
I miss those days. The easy
That was a
MMR
strong hero.
days.
Mm-hmm. I definitely played a lot of Winter Wyvern. And I mean, I know it was OP, but right now, the ult seems so underwhelming. It's just like a setup in a way. You want to arrow after the curse, or you want to get a stomp after the
Oh
curse.
my god. Flea just solo kills the Zeus in the mid lane. Whew.
The applause.
He's applauding for himself. Let's not get too excited here, Bowie, but the rotation
problem?
did.
You can be proud of your achievements.
You can. No, I know. You made it sound like someone else was giving the applause, though, I guess.
Okay. Okay, Morphling. Getting close to the Lincolns. I'm actually surprised. The timing is super fast considering the aggression that SG was putting out. So nicely done by Infamous enabling the Morphling. They do have Golem, so they can start fighting a little bit more. This is the second nighttime. I do hope they start going for more aggressive plays here.
I just feel like they're not utilizing this IO. And not even that they're not utilizing it, that they can't. Because Morphling, you know, he's sitting at the top of the net worth right now, but he's still not really ready to fight. Like you said earlier, he can fight, but he doesn't really want to. He wants to be farming up. You do have the Night Stalker that you can try to make some rotation, but if you look at the way that they're playing, most of them are really close. The Stand King, though, just giving away his position in the bottom lane. It's a little bit spooky here. Yeah, Silence comes out. Looks like Pepita's just going to get ripped down in the mid lane with 4 heroes over on the side of SG, but they're going to maybe get themselves a Stand King. Oh, the curse! The curse!
So
Leave
much
50
damage.
hit points! And now Old Stinger finds himself at 200. Tower's going down in the mid lane, though. Like they did use the roar to get the kill on Pepita.
And well, like when you look at the Infamous draft, you're saying that they are not utilizing the IO, and I feel like it's about their cores. Like Night Stalker is a good pairing, but Zeus IO, like yeah, I've got more mana, but usually I envision IO as a hero that wants to get that core that just dives things. So like heroes like Monkey King or Doom, they don't really have that hero. So it's like you're following the Night Stalker, but he can only fight every 4 minutes.
Yes.
So there's kind of like a disconnect between the picks and the way they can play. I feel like it definitely hinders the amount of plays, the possibilities in the mid game for them.
I'm surprised that they went for the Zeus for Pepita. I'm not sure if they're thinking maybe then you'd have that global presence once you get past a certain point. If you get the Ag Scepter picked up, Nimbus is very, very strong. But again, looking at the way that SG drafted, it I don't know. In my mind, whenever you see like a Beastmaster and a DK, you know that they're not going to give you any breathing room. They're going to be just, okay, they're going to DC for a second. Hopefully they come back, fingers crossed here. But, you know, whenever you see that lineup, you have to know they're going to be running at your face. So you need to find something that can keep the tempo. And Zeus, you know, yeah, he's good. He's strong during the mid game especially. But I don't feel like he provides that role that's needed when you get, like you said, the IO first pick. Kotaro wants to farm up. You needed something that I don't know. What would you have picked? Like you talked about the Monkey King, but that would have then offset
Monkey King would be amazing, actually. I feel like Monkey King is a great lane. Like Monkey King is good versus any melee heroes, and he can fight without items. I feel like he's a pretty low key strong hero right now. I guess it was Thompson playing. He was actually playing Monkey King versus OD. That's not a matchup you ever think about, but he was destroying an OD in the mid lane. I was casting Hammer Pubs today, and I just saw that matchup, and I feel like there's a lot of matchups where Monkey King excels in the mid lane specifically. So not sure if Infamous likes the hero. Maybe they didn't even think about it. But yeah, I feel like Zeus. There's 2 mistakes. I feel like Zeus. It's not a mistake, but maybe an oversight. Zeus and Io, not the greatest combination. Zeus versus early push. Like, yeah, you have some anti-push with your Q, but it's not enough nowadays. You have a Hood already on the DK. He doesn't pressure the lane too much, so the DK just farms all those items. And you're going to be playing from behind. Yes, they can still win. It's only a 3k goal lead, but you don't want to choose to play from behind, you know?
So much magic, too. And you can just easily offset that. You have to have a good balance, I feel, of both. But they've got Chaotic Offering. They spot out 40R. They're thinking about it. Oh, the stun comes out though. They're not gonna allow Excel to get that off right away. Still manages to throw it down, but he's taking so much damage. Matthew actually gonna get slept up here, and they'll take him down. Matthew just can't do anything. They just don't have that advantage that they need. They're too strong. And so that's gonna be Chaotic Offering on cooldown. They use the Thunder God's Wrath during that. That's not too high of a cooldown, but I just felt like it tickled them, right?
Well, there is the combo that we didn't talk about. You can always tether the Golem, because now you can actually tether magic immune things. So you can just overcharge the Golem. He's pretty strong. He might be the 6th hero that Infamous needs.
We might as well, what was it? I've seen strats too where you buff the bear. On Lone Druid, you take the IO, Alacrity, IO, and the Ogre Magi and just have them rip at buildings. It's really funny. You also can tether the Earth Panda now too with the Brewmaster, and you can buff that, which is pretty fun to watch.
You can just, Alacrity, overcharge, empower. We saw that last game.
It's always a fun time watching it just pew 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 pew, just like a machine gun. Alright,
Lincoln is completed, so then Morphling is a little bit stronger now.
It's 15 minutes in though, boy, and they're already putting pressure on the base.
Yes.
Like that to me is scary. That's SG playing their draft too, right? Right to a T, because they're really strong right now. The later it gets, the more that Infamous has a chance to get back into this, because they do have that Morphling. But
the goal advantage is not huge though. It is. True. It is. They can bounce back. I do feel like that Morphling. He is the strongest hero. Like if this game goes 35 minutes, he is the strongest hero by far. He can just burst a lot of those heroes. He can man fight DK. They have an Elder Titan, but now that you have to be close to apply the armor reduction, I'm not sure. I mean, I was gonna say that I'm not sure Flea will have enough items to stay close, but it is Flea.
It's so Flea, yeah.
You never know.
You never know, absolutely. I guess, Kotaro is a great core. It's so much pressure on him, though. Like, he has to play everything perfectly. He has to make sure that he's farming. He needs this map control and the vision so he doesn't get ganked, because if they take him down, the rest of the team can't really defend without him. Like, what's Io gonna do? Io can't do that much. You've got the Oh, Pepita. My friend, not like this. Not again. Poor Pepita, 1-4-1. Do have the Io over here trying to fight through with Old Stinger. They pop Darkness. They're still on the chase, though. Matthew's sitting very, very low. Could opt to try to reload out. Of course, he's got to give up his own life for that, but I think they can run away fast enough. This Night Stalker is quite speedy. They've got some TPs. Looks like they're going to be all right here.
Yeah, but it's costly, right? You're running away while the enemy team's getting Roche, so it's not really a win. It's just not a loss. It does. I'm not sure they can contest this. They do have the Night Stalker still. Maybe for Hunting the Night, it's gonna
maybe get a snatch, but he's dead the second he goes in there, and doesn't have darkness. There's no way he's no way he gets in there. They've got the Chaotic Offering, but I don't think they have enough damage, and they spot out Old Stinger over here on the high ground. 40R going to put some pressure down. The TP comes out. They don't have a stun.
Radiance. There's no way they can fight this. There's Radiance on the bear already.
My word. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, they're in there. But what are you gonna do about it, Infamous? Oh no, Excel gets caught out. They clean up over here.
Winter?
Yeah, Stanky, he's got the Glimmer Cloak. They're just gonna hold him in place. They don't want to have to deal with him. They're actually running right out. Earth Splitter, he just pops. And that's how Flea's gonna get close to Morphling.
Yeah, that's the Winter Wyvern pick. That's what he does. It set up the Earth Splitter so well, and it's a great ability versus Morphling. That's okay. I guess that's the combo.
I mean, there are other heroes that can do that as well, but...
There's no easy 4-second stun like that. Because the Earth Splitter, the setup is so slow, right? It's a 3.2 delay.
That's
so there's
true.
not a lot of like cast abilities that actually hold people for so long. That's nice.
I was thinking more in terms of just being able to like have that lockdown, not so much of the timing with the Earth Splitter, but you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
This is why Bowie's the analyst, guys, and I just, you know, get really, really excited. Talk about Dota 2. I love Dota 2. I'm learning, though. I'm learning every time. Every time I'm learning. It looks like, I want to say...
It's Costabil. Lundruid.
Yeah.
Alright, so... Can they high ground easily here? The bear... They do have a lot of burst. There's Fatal Bond, so it's a little bit scary for that little ball of 4. But...
I'm sure they just let the bear siege, and the second they have an opening, 4DR leaps in and just does his thing. It's a fairly simple draft to put together for the high ground. It's a lot more complicated for the side of Infamous because they're so far behind. I mean, the only person right now, Kotaro's currently top of the net worth, but Zeus has not had the effect that they wanted this game. He's been having a lot of difficulty staying alive, just farming even in general, and has no... decently close to that axe, I guess I could say, right? It's about halfway there, but...
Yeah, there's no one in the base. Like, look at the tower. It's
I think
already...
they're wrapping around. They're wrapping around here. They're gonna try to get the surprise play. Yeah.
Let's see. The Hawk gave some vision, though. They ping it out.
This is not going the way I think they want. The roar comes out. They've got their eyes on this Warlock. He just gets evaporated. They will lose Winter Wyvern, and they're gonna slowly chase down Kotaro. He's got that Ghost Scepter though. Fear Spell comes out. They're body blocking him, Bowie. Look at that. They just don't want to let him get out. That Lincoln's gets popped. They'll still chase a little bit after him. But they got the Golem out, and that's kind of like your big deterrence. Dragon Form gets used though, so. Oh, Night Stalker. What you doing here, buddy? What are you doing, Stinger? Io's gonna teleport in. He wants to take him home. They've got to hold on for a couple more seconds. He's fairly tanky, and it looks like they're gonna be able to run him out.
Io, what a hero.
Matthew, what a bro going in there.
Yeah, and you know something that we were well. What is the role of the Winter Weaver in this game besides what we just saw with the Winter's Curse? Well, usually Lone Druid drafts, they have a problem that is when you try to push with your bear and he dies once and then he dies twice, you cannot push anymore even if you have Aegis and the cooldown is very big. But Cold Embrace and stuff like the Sunray, percentage-based abilities with heal, is just so good with the bear, so you can always heal the bear, you don't lose it. It's just a way easier way to... Oh, Morphling.
Oh, Kotaro, he's in the middle of everyone.
Yeah, there it is, Cold Embrace. A lot of heal for the little bear.
I don't know how small this bear is at this point, Bowie. This is a big old dump truck of a bear.
Yeah, he's more of a panda, but yeah, we're gonna call him bear anyways.
Well, I guess pandas are technically marsupials, right? I don't know.
I am not a... we were talking about something biology related once. Yeah, actually toads and frogs. I have no idea about biology. My ex-girlfriend was a biologist. Biologist?
Yep, that's a word. That's the phrase.
Oh, alright. Doesn't sound right in Portuguese, but...
I wouldn't know.
So...
I know like a handful of phrases. Learning a little bit more vocabulary.
Like the good advantage is not big, but they can just get the buildings. And Infamous, they're just looking. Their cooldowns are big. The only hero that they have really is the Morphling.
I mean, you just heal these guys up as Winter Wyvern, you send them right back in again. There's no chaotic offering. Zeus still does not have that ag, so he can't even throw down a Nimbus. Io's just gonna throw those little balls around. Bear's gonna get taken down though. That's a healthy amount of gold, but the Bear's back up. Glimmer Cape comes out. They want to keep Costabil alive. They don't want to let that Aegis pop just yet. Look at the burn coming out over here. Oh, they managed to take it out though. Alright, alright. Fatal Bonds. What a spell.
I do like the pipe on Dragon Knight. Their timings are perfect on SG. You know, they got the Radiance, they got the Aegis, they have the pipe, let's push high ground, and it really helps them mitigate a lot of the damage. They do lose the Aegis, but they already got a lane of barracks. They don't necessarily have to force this. Yes, the Morphling will become strong, but we're still 23 minutes in. They're fine. This is a great achievement already.
Well, again, we run into the issue of this Morphling, you know, being strong, but the Zeus is so far behind. Oh, they drop the Chaotic Offering, hoping they find someone, but immediately Winter's Curse comes out over into the Warlock. We'll hold him in place. And now it looks like Leposa trying to run himself away. They use that pipe. The rest of the team is here. Bear just gonna go ahead, chase them all away. Thunder God's Wrath comes out. And Morphling, Kotaro, he's looking for the opening. There's Leposa, manages to burst him down. And now, looks like we're gonna have some more issues here. 40 yards, got the Spirit Vessel. We're just swimming right forward. Kotaro is looking for this opening. The rest of the team a little bit further behind. They're gonna be able to get the steal though. Can they get to the shrine? They're out there. Do they have enough damage? There's the upheaval coming out from Excel. They'll turn around. They'll burst that Lincoln's over here on the Morphling, but in comes Matthew. He's gonna be able to heal him up again and just separate himself from the rest of the crowd. And it looks like Stinger trying to fight his way through. Still alive somehow, but is he gonna be able to take down Flea? Look at this fight. Oh, Flea's actually gonna have to run himself away, and all this goes down. Kotaro does get murdered by Kosaba, who's sitting at like almost no health too, Bowie.
Stanking played that so well. Jesus, he got like 3 Code Embraces, 3 Glimmer Capes. They were able to maintain the Laundred alive and thus the Radiance Bear alive, and they just kept dealing damage. The Morphling, he was close on getting like a triple kill there, but honestly, Stanking MVP of this game. There's no way. He kind of won that fight, and if Infamous actually takes it, they're going to be able to get some objectives. The Morphling is actually pretty good at taking towers. What happens now is that they have the Elder Dragon up. The mid lane is pushing already. They have to go back and defend. They can never leave their base. So, just amazing play by the Wyvern there.
You know what's actually so triggering is that if you're casting now, you know, at least that's what I think. I'm not sure if this is true, if it's a bug on my end, but we don't get to vote for MVP at the end.
Really?
Yeah, they used to have it where you had the predictions in game. You had an MVP vote at the very end.
You're nerfing D2 bias.
I don't know. I'm not sure if maybe it's a bug, but I have not had any of these pop-ups. I'm really disappointed. I was looking forward to, you know, asking your opinion on things, Bowie, and then threatening you if you got them wrong. Yeah, I guess they did it for your sake, right? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Lincoln comes out from 40 yards. Got his eyes on Matthew. Matthew's still going to be able to make it out alive, though. Earth Splitter comes through. Doesn't actually catch anyone. It doesn't look like here. That's a pretty big victory here for Infamous. And Fear comes out. They hold the IO in place, but what are they going to do to follow it up? And we have the Nimbus online on Pepita. So this game getting a little bit more comfortable for Infamous. Not perfect just yet. But Morphling getting bigger, bigger. Has himself that E-Blade now, too, so... Do you think SG is feeling some pressure now?
Not that much. If they lose Aegis, they might feel pressured right now. Their only job is get control of the Roche area, keep Infamous in their base, so that the only hero that can farm is Morphling, and that's what they have to do. As long as they don't bleed any big kills and they keep on getting map control, that's all they have to do. And Roche is up actually, super fast spawn, which might be super hard for Infamous. It doesn't look like they know though. Let's see if the Costa Bill London's gonna scout it out.
Yeah, he thought about it for like half a second. It's like, yeah, nah, probably not.
There's no way it's up, right?
Yeah. Then you go back, you watch the replays, and you're like, oh my god.
It's always like that. Like they camp Roshan for 20 seconds, and then it respawns as they leave the Roshan.
I mean, it's good for Infamous.
Mm-hmm.
It's more time for Kotaro to kind of split around and do some farming, but he's got to be aware, right? Because no one's showing right now, other than the Wyvern. There's someone coming, so.
Oh, he's not going away.
Kotaro. Kotaro. I keep saying Kotaru, which is a different name. There it is, but they've got the stomp. Lincoln's gets popped. 40-yard jumps in there. They just take down all the trees. Earth Splitter wipes him off the face of the planet, and he's down for 50-something seconds. The IO tried to come in, tried to save him. Matthew gonna be able to go stun him up. He's got another couple seconds. Can he get himself out in time? And then comes the Wyvern. It doesn't look good for Matthew. 40-yard, dominating.
Oof.
He just stuck around just a little too long, boy. And look at this.
He's in, like, when you're that far behind, you need to go for those aggressive plays. You need to push the waves and secure some semblance of map control, but...
I know, but if he had just TP'd out just a little bit earlier, he would have been home defending this, not losing these racks. They go and they disarm the bear. They just don't want them hitting these buildings, but they have nothing to do to stop them. You've got a chaotic offering up, but you drop that golem, and what do you have? Not much. Can they get this bear, though? Oh, they get the bear. They get the Winter's Curse, but the sleep at the same time, so maybe a little bit of miscommunication. They're trying to save that bear, I'm sure. That Winter's Curse
Roshan, right?
Yeah. And a double damage rune outside the pit.
Oh, man.
Ice Frog, please. S4 runes everywhere.
So do they have a smoke? Okay, they're smoking. I like this. It was obvious because the range group was still alive. So as you can just leave the pit, the Roche was still pretty...
The Nimbus is going to be up very soon, too. Yeah, they open up. Thunder God's Wrath.
Okay.
They just go right
They
back
have
in,
to
do you
get this
think?
Roshan. If SG gets this Roshan, I feel like this is game over. Infamous.
Yeah.
Your only way into this game is getting Roshan. Ideally not losing a lot of heroes in the process.
They're just going to go right back in the pit. They don't have the... I mean, Zeus has Nimbus, right? Zeus is going to be able to just have that global presence. In fact, it might even be safer for him, honestly. Hate to say it. Io is nearby, though, so they'll be able to reload him in if necessary.
Oh, they're
Look at
ganking
this.
the Zeus. He's showing.
Look at the Zeus or the Io. One of these guys. Yeah, Stan King's going forward here. Oh, he finds Matthew. There's the slow coming out. He's got the relocate. Oh, no, not with that silence being thrown out. No, my friend. This is looking pretty scary for you. He's sitting so low, Bowie. 60-something hit points. Stan King still wants this kill so badly. The rest of the team, though, chasing after Old Stinger. He's going to try to use that Hunter, try himself away. Oh, Matthew stole it. No, he gets taken out eventually. They'll drop the Chaotic Offering. Stan King has to use that Glimmer Cape. They have the buyback immediately coming out from Matthew. They know that they have to try to keep this Morphling alive, and it looks like he's going to be all right here. Stan King, again, those cold embraces. Oh, Stinger, old Stinger, my friend. Splinter Blast comes out. Arctic Burn. He's going to be able to just fly his way out of there with a little help from the Io.
And that's Roshan. They committed the Warlock Golem. They cannot, even with the Nimbus, they're gonna be able to scout Roshan, but it doesn't matter. They cannot fight Roshan anymore.
Nope.
Nice play by SG. They smoke instead of forcing the Roche. They know that you're strong, so they just have to find that one pick. It looked a little bit awkward, but at the end of the day, they just wanted to force some abilities. Easy Roche. This could be game. Do we have any other items here? Morphling going BKB, but he's pretty far away.
Yeah, he's so far away from it. Plus, you still have the Beastmaster with the Roar and the Winter's Curse that goes through BKB, so... It's amazing the amount of defensive items he's had to pick up. It's looking pretty bleak.
Yeah.
Almost
They have a
15k net worth. Bowie will lead. Stinger? Flap those little wings.
Oh boy.
Flap them harder, Stinger! Get back in the base. Look at Stan King, too. He goes, places that ward right away. He's going to get de-ward by Excel. Oh, but Excel, you've been debated by the ward! Oh, man. Yeah, he just pops. Winter's Curse getting used just to hold the Night Stalker in place. They've got their attention over on Kotar. They're kind of split up here, Bowie. But Kotar, he just runs away. He can't protect his tower. They jump in. They've got the Roar. Pepita's just toast. Despite the Io trying. Oh, the Yules does come out, but gets Thunder God's Wrath off. Has to buy back immediately. They're just shredding through everything. Oh boy, this Winter Wyvern here. Gets sleeped up. Stan King's gonna get taken down. Old Stinger will fall, but there goes the tower and the base. That's gonna be mega creeps. And Kotaro. Kotaro, he's trying so hard, Bowie. He's trying to fight them off, but it's just one little wave against the world, it feels like. Matthew providing that support. They'll turn around, get the waveform off onto Laposa, manage to take him out. And all they have is this Warlock who's going to be defending. There's still... Oh, the reload comes in! Matthew, he's trying to get this here. There's also 4DR, though, standing nearby. The Science comes out on the Morphling Dragon Tail. They'll be able to go and disarm him, but... No, this is looking not so great here. Pepita trying to run himself back. He's already bought back. Yules will come out. Costabile standing nearby. Where's this fight going? It's going all over the place. 4DR still chasing after Pepita. He's got that Orchid, but it doesn't seem to matter too much. They just call the GG. So SG, they think they only dropped one game, Bowie.
Yeah, pretty impressive. I really like the way they tried to do with the IO. Honestly, I feel like Infamous, they kind of dragged themselves into a corner there with the Zeus pick. It didn't look like they were able to utilize the advantage that the IO actually brings in a draft like this. I mean, pretty impressive game by SG. and hope for them in the future because they are qualified, right? That's their
Yeah,
last game.
those are the right now we've got Pain Gaming who have qualified and SG that have secured themselves spots in the playoff. So what is it? It's the bottom two that don't qualify, right? Is that how that works?
Yes.
Okay. So those two have already qualified. We've still got our eyes on who's next. Is it Infamous? I want to say that Infamous is next up here. In terms of points. I mean, not necessarily who's coming up next on the channel, because the next people coming up on the channel is actually going to be Thunder Predator versus Midas Club. But
Yes.
I was trying to think of in terms of points.
Thunder won versus Taurus, so it's probably them because Infamous lost, so they didn't get any points for
Okay.
that. And Infamous is probably out. I know they still have one game, but it's Infamous versus Taurus. So I heard that if Midas wins versus Thunder Predator, there might be a tiebreaker
Oh,
because they're gonna get 2 points on each one.
interesting.
Right?
All right, I
Let's
wasn't aware
check
that.
Midas. So yeah, right now SG and Pain they're way ahead of everyone.
Okay.
Oh god, Russian casters. I open up,
Oh.
open up a website here, and that stream
Right,
just
right,
popped
right.
up. So yeah, Midas and SG and Pain ahead of everyone. Thunder Predator they won, so they have 2 points. Now if Midas wins versus Thunder Predator doesn't get any more points. Midas gets 2 points. And then if Infamous or Taurus, it doesn't matter who wins that matchup, they're gonna get 2 points as well. And that might be a tiebreaker for the third and fourth slot actually.
That'll
How
be
does that
interesting
even
because
work?
I don't know how the tiebreakers are going to work,
Yeah.
or how they're set up, because I guess no one thought ahead to that. Interesting. All right, guys, we were
Yeah.
going to be back. We've got more South American Dota coming for you. You've got Thunder Predator versus Midas Club as our next matchup. So please stick around. We hope you're enjoying this. I hope that you're enjoying me learning how some of these Portuguese Brazilian phrases work, because, learning, what was it? Runa, Lua? Is that it?
I'm
Moonrunes?
afraid of saying that because the internet just cut out when I say it. So
Oh,
I
okay.
feel like
It's-
it might
it's
be a
just-
curse word. I'm not gonna say it again.
But we hope you're enjoying it anyways, and we're so glad that you're spending your afternoon with us. So we'll be back.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.